from Wayne Gretzky's in the heart of downtown Toronto, it's Gallagher, presented by JBC. Tonight from the WWF, it's wrestler Owen Hart. Plus, Johnny goes Christmas shopping with Val Venus and Kurgan. And it's an all-WWF edition of the G-Files. Get online and interact with us on the internet. Log on and find us at www.tsn.ca/Gallagher and send us an email, comment, or question for tonight's guest. And now, here's your host, John Gallagher.
Thanks a lot. Hello to the great white north, and season's greetings to you people here in the studio audience and you people in Pictou, Nova Scotia. Now, this has been a terrific week here at the Gallagher Show so far. Last night, we had Bret the Hitman Hart. But there's more. Tonight, we're going to keep it in the family with none other than the WWF's Owen Hart coming up right here. You gotta love the wrestling. Wendy, we're in the middle of a wrestling bonanza. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hi to our lovely Wendy Ward.
All right, guys, tonight's internet question has to do with our very special guest, Owen Hart. And we would like to know, what is your favorite Owen Hart nickname? Quite a few to choose from. We've got the Rocket, King of Hearts, let's see, Blue Blazer, infamous Blue Blazer, or of course there's Nugget and Black Heart. Dial us up right here online. Let us know your favorite. Johnson, you got a favorite?
Oh, well, it's got to be the King of Hearts. But if he comes out here and gives me the old double underhook suplex, well, it'll be anything Mr. Hart wants me to call him, huh? Hey, let's get to those highlights you ordered. They're brought to you by Molson Canadian. And here's where we're starting. We're starting in Florida. Tekla Prospel already out with a high sticking penalty. Cross-checks Paul Laus in the face. Gets 5 minutes. Laus glad to have his teeth, but does he still have his teeth? Panthers in the power play. Victor Kozlov, boom, scores. Minute later, Rob Niedermeyer scores. Same power play. Dino Cicerelli rebounds, scores. Kozlov again, 4-0. What do you know? Chuck Marquez says, guys, you've got the score on this power play, all right? Since started to come out, Jason York's point chart. Watch this nice bounce in off the goalie, but Florida wins it. They hang on, 6-5. At Madison Square, the clock's not working. The trainer says, no problem. I've got my trusty stopwatch. Yeah, that'll work. Peter Forsberg down the wing beats Alf Sandelson and Mike Canubo. But 2-1, Colorado wins. College hoops. Freshman Corey Maggette from Duke. Big dunk, but a little too much celebration. Ref says that's a technical foul. Next time, look what he does. Maggette. No. And off the back of the rim, his dad can't believe it. Next possession, Maggette finally does it properly. And the crazies from Cameron go nuts. Duke wins it big time. And you got to watch this. Finally, the finals of the Poland Open Table Tennis Tournament. Johnny Wang from Canada and Kim Tuk-Soo from Korea. Sue in the near court, almost in a different time zone, still wins the points. Johnny Wang, gotta like that. He fights back, gets the match point, keeps hammering away. Soon in a different room, but Johnny Wang wins the Poland tournament, going away. And those people are your highlights, Gallagher style. Big fan of the Chicago Blackhawks. Here he is, Eric Vaughn.
Hey, thank you, Johnny. Wow, it is going to be a wild one tonight, folks. You know, there's only 14 shopping days before Christmas, so with that in mind, Gallagher went out with a couple of the boys from the WWF, Val Venus and Kurgan, and hopefully found Wendy and I a little something to put under the tree. And when we come back, he is here, the man of the hour, Owen Hart.
Gallagher is brought to you in part by Astro GTS, Drive Hard, and by Molson Canadian. Here's your host, John Gallagher.
All right. Well, thank you WWF and season's greetings to you people here in the studio audience and you people in Pictou, Nova Scotia. Now, this has been a terrific week here at the Gallagher Show so far. Last night, we had Bret the Hitman Hart. But there's more. Tonight, we're going to keep it in the family with none other than the WWF's Owen Hart coming up right here. You gotta love the wrestling. Wendy, we're in the middle of a wrestling bonanza. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hi to our lovely Wendy Ward.
All right, guys, tonight's internet question has to do with our very special guest, Owen Hart. And we would like to know, what is your favorite Owen Hart nickname? Quite a few to choose from. We've got the Rocket, King of Hearts, let's see, Blue Blazer, infamous Blue Blazer, or of course there's Nugget and Black Heart. Dial us up right here online. Let us know your favorite. Johnson, you got a favorite?
Oh, well, it's got to be the King of Hearts. But if he comes out here and gives me the old double underhook suplex, well, it'll be anything Mr. Hart wants me to call him, huh?
And when we come back, he is here, the man of the hour, Owen Hart.
I'm in the ring fighting Goldust, and I wasn't mentally prepared for it.
Now, this Goldust guy, he's kind of strange. He's, crossed the boundaries. And, wrestling has pushed the envelope sometimes a little too far. I answer this, Owen. Has wrestling gone too far?
Well, a lot of people feel it has. There's pros and cons to that. The ratings are unbelievable. Wrestling is hotter than it's ever been in its history. Sellout crowds everywhere. When we go into Skydome, I heard it's got the biggest advanced gate ever for a Monday Night Raw in February. Our pay-per-view in Vancouver sold out big time. So there's definite success. But we are pushing the risque button. It's getting violent. It's getting a little cruder than I personally would like for my own children. But that's my children. I just don't allow them to watch it. But everyone's got their own freedom, their own democracy to do whatever they want. And personally, anything that I do, I'm proud to say that I can let my children watch or any other fans. They might not always agree with the dirty tactics that I do, but I make sure what I do as a professional athlete in and outside the ring is acceptable to my family and my friends, and I want to uphold the Hart reputation as being true professionals.
Good for you. It's getting a little risque, and our buddy Vince McMahon has a real handle on this. This guy is a fascinating guy. What's your relationship with Vince?
Well, when I started with WWF about 10 years ago, I was so intimidated by Vince McMahon. I didn't even know at times if he even knew who I was. It's like, hi, Mr. McMahon. And,
Mr. McMahon.
And yeah, I just said, like, does he even know who I really am? It's like, I am the Blue Blazer. I'm the young kid that, was just happy to have a job. But over 10 years, we've developed a rapport. And, Vince and I are I wouldn't say good friends, but we get along fine. This corporate stuff, I don't know what's going on there. He's got, the corporate champions and all that other stuff, and I know he's the worst nightmare for Stone Cold Steve Austin. But, me and Vince, we're not tight, but we're not enemies, and he's a good promoter, a good guy to work for. He's obviously the best guy in the business for promoting. Well,
you've been in trouble with Vince over the years. 2 SummerSlams ago, you broke Steve Stone Cold Austin's neck, and what did you go? You went out and bragged about it.
Well, that was the highest marketed shirt I ever had. It said Owen 316. I just broke Stone Cold's neck, but that wasn't my idea. Somebody else came up with the marketing of the shirt, and I just reaped the benefits in the bank account. But, anytime someone gets hurt like that, especially when it's a neck injury, you feel bad, and I never want to see anyone get hurt like a neck injury, and it's a terrible thing. And I remember the night that happened, it was devastating to me, and thank God he's recovered and he's doing a lot better now.
We'll talk about broken necks, broken bones, some of your opponents coming up. We've got Owen Hart guesting tonight. If you're online, you're on next, along with our fans here, live from Studio 99. Back in a bit, we'll see you in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to Gallagher, everybody. We are picking names on the net tonight. Our question is, which is your favorite Owen Hart nickname? So far in 3rd place, we have the Black Heart. In 2nd, we have the King of Hearts. And in 1st, we have Nugget. Back later with the final results. Over to you guys.
And the wrestling fans know what nugget means, and it's not good. I mean,
Well, as far as I know, a nugget is something you get at a drive-through window at McDonald's, get a chicken. So it's something that everybody likes. It's delicious, and, or the little Hershey chocolate dip nuggets, or something that's like, gold nuggets, like 14-karat gold plated. So I'm thinking it's something good.
The bottom of a pan, with the 49ers. Good for you.
It's definitely not something in a toilet.
Good. See, there, All right, so you said earlier one of your highlights, if not the highlight, was WrestleMania 10. You beat your brother Bret, Madison Square Garden. Your whole family's there. Your family, man, what a great Canadian story, huh?
Yeah, it's very fortunate to have 12 kids in the family. I'm the youngest of 12. My mother and father, you know, through thick and thin, stayed together and raised us. And I know my mom never wanted us to become wrestlers, and she certainly did not want my sisters marrying wrestlers. And both of those nightmares came true. We are all wrestlers in some form or another, and my sisters all married wrestlers.
Oh, man!
So it's a zoo up at the house at Christmas time for Christmas dinners and stuff like that.
You know, your mom's running out of videotape because she taped last night's show and now tonight. Come on, put it on. Put a 90 in there, Helen.
Yeah, really.
We have Eric somewhere out there.
John, venturing into the danger zone by the pen here. We have a message. I am the Blue Blazer. Oh, my. Jay?
We found him.
I was just wondering if you would ever consider going to, like, WCW to be with your brother.
Well, you know, I've been asked that a lot, and I have no desire to go down there. I'm very happy with WWF. It's been a... So, you know, there's been a lot of speculation about it, and I know all my family went down there, and I had an opportunity to go down there, and I talked to Vince McMahon. It was about a year ago at this time, and he was a man of his word. He fulfilled all the commitments that he promised me, and I have no desire to go down there. I have my friends in WWF. I wish my family would come back to WWF because truly that's where the Hart Foundation belongs, is right back in WWF. We'll get it back together and reunite one day, I hope.
Here, here. Wendy, who do we have from across this fine country?
Well, we have Cameron McKay from Winnipeg, Manitoba, who writes, Owen, in your mind, who are some of the most underrated wrestlers in the WWF today?
Besides yourself, of course.
Well, of course, besides myself.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of upcoming new stars right from Canada here. Actually, Canada's got some of the best newcomers. Edge, Val Venus, Kurgan, the big giant. You know, they're all Canadian boys. Tiger Ali Singh is another Canadian boy. And they're new and they're fresh and they're hip to what's going on. They're hip to what people want to see. They're athletic. They're entertaining. And, you know, they just got to pay their dues a little bit like I did 10 years ago wearing that silly blue blazer mask. You know, and their time will come and they'll be the stars of the new millennium.
Val and Kurgan and I won Christmas shopping. You'll see that in 2, 3, 4 minutes. Eric, Doug Flutie.
Thank you, John. Owen is, or rather for Owen, here is Scott.
How you doing, Owen? Just a question. How does the whole confrontation between your brother and the World Wrestling Federation affected you and your career and the relationship with Vince McMahon?
Well, a year ago, it was a really hard time. You know, you got to figure you got your closest people in the world is your family, and then I got my boss who's controlling my livelihood, and I was stuck right in the middle there in between both of them.
Because Brett asked you to leave and almost demanded that you do.
Yeah, and he was going through a really hard emotional time. He had a 14-year relationship with Vince that you know, despite when anyone says they were very, very close, and both of them were hurt and licking their wounds after the whole scenario was done, and those wounds were very deep. And I still think to this day both parties affected were emotionally involved. And I was thrust in between watching my family who had, you know, I got my break in WWF through Brett, who got me in there initially, and to see him gone, and not just in a mild way, but a very nasty, harsh way, the way he left. And to be pitted right against, like, geez, this is my livelihood, this is my only career. There's not a lot of options if you're a professional wrestler. And, you know, you can't just say, well, okay, I'll go get a job somewhere else. You know, I was limited. And I'm very happy with WWF, and I was at the time. And when this whole thing came upon, it was right around Christmas, and it was really chaotic. And I had Brett tell me one thing, and I went back and forth with Vince McMahon. We worked out an agreement. And 1 year later, I can't complain. It's been a lot better than it could have been.
The first cut is the deepest. Plug away. Big pay-per-view event on Sunday in Vancouver. Go nuts. Go nuts.
Well, I'm going to go nuts on Steve Blackman. You know, there's a couple of factors. I'm fortunate enough to have it in my own country in Canada, and I always love wrestling in my own country, whether they boo me or they cheer me, but for the most part, in Canada, they like me very much. And Steve Blackman was the one that brought me off my couch when I was retired, enjoying myself, and now I'm thrust back into the ring, and Steve Blackman is the lethal weapon, but when I get my hands on him, I'm going to punish him.
All right, give me a move that you're going to give him on Sunday. What's it called? The backhanded chicken flop?
Yeah, you're close enough. I'll call it, it's a cross-face chicken wing. It's just one of the many submission holds that my dad taught me down in the dungeon.
All right, if I turn blue, let me know, studio audience, all right?
Okay, so I hook this arm here like this.
Okay. Oh,
arm comes across the throat. And then it's just...
Ladies and gentlemen, good luck on that rock